Hello, Hugh. I was just wondering whether we're all drowning in porn. Do you want to come in?
Yeah.
So, Hugh, how did you all amuse yourself in those days?
Well, I certainly remember the first set of Star Wars films, long before Phantom Menace. And when Return of the Jedi came out, there were street parties. George V came out to see it, and we were all given a silver sixpence with a picture of Queen Victoria on one side and a picture of Jabba the Hutt on the other.
You may fire when ready.
If you only knew the power of the dark side, they would be honored if you would join.
Don't worry, Arthur. We're going.
Wrap it up, fuzzball.
Pepper stuff. I feel the force.
Welcome back to Blah Wars. We're inside a really weird box of a room. We're in basically what is like a phone booth.
It's kind of like
It's all
Doctor Who's
chipboard
TARDIS without
from the inside.
Yeah, but it's
basically
not big
all
on
the
the
exposed, unpainted wood.
It's crap.
Yeah.
It's not big. It's tiny. We're struggling for space, but we thought, hey, it's quite cute. Let's get involved.
Yeah.
Squeeze in. Like
We're in
sardines.
basically the broom cupboard from CBBC, if you remember that. Without Phil Schofield, sadly, we don't have him. We've got such a packed show and loads to talk about. So much going on.
Loads of shit has happened in the... Well, it's been 2 weeks since we last caught up, because the last one was... I've just seen your phone. What is that? What was that?
Tim Heidecker. I'm going to go and see Tim Heidecker tomorrow night.
Okay. You just got a picture of his double chin on your screensaver. Brilliant.
Yeah. I was going to get my notes up.
You got notes? You made notes for this thing? I thought we'd just do this off the
just
cuff.
a couple of notes,
Little bit of
but
guidance,
what to talk about on the podcast. So yeah, we got loads to talk about. Where should we start with?
God.
The oldest bit of news?
Oldest bit of news. Oh, you went to see Identities, didn't you?
Star Wars Identities. Now, we were supposed to go and see this together, but it's basically... You're listening to this the final week of it. It finishes on the 3rd of September. You've got until then to get down the O2 to see this. So I went down there on a work day thinking, it's a Wednesday, it's going to be not very full, whatever.
It looked pretty good though, man.
It is full of... it's basically, it's a summer holiday. I forgot about that. But
full of kids, annoying.
Full of kids, yeah. But I do have some photos from it. I can get those up in a second. Here we go.
You put a load on Instagram as well, didn't you?
I did indeed. So, it's a pretty... It's not cheap. You basically pay about 25 quid to go in,
right,
and when you get in, it's got two parts to it. Yep. One half is there is original props on display. The other half is you get given a wristband and an earpiece, and you sort of have to touch your wristband against different areas as you go around, and it sort of tells you what kind of Star Wars character you are. All right.
What do you mean? You go up to statues and just touch
you
it with your wrist?
Yeah, you basically touch your wrist on certain points, and then it's sort of there's interactive
was there
kind
a janitor just pretending to be a statue?
That kind of thing. Yeah, just that kind of thing. It was but I got in there, got given this I thought I'm already wearing a headset because I was going to record some audio bits, and I had my mics clipped on me and everything. I looked like a right tit. And before I went in, basically. I went to Starbucks in the O2 and went down to this queue, bought my ticket and went in the queue. And then the guy says to me, you can't take drinks inside. I said, no problem at all. I'll put it in the bin right by the elevator before I go up.
Yeah, go on.
So zigzagging all the way around. And by that point, I've probably got about 3/4 of the coffee left.
Really?
And I obviously went down to put it in the bin. And it was like it was in slow motion. But I basically went to throw it in the bin and missed the bin. I was probably... My hand was about maybe 6 inches from the bin, and I still missed. And I just more or less tipped up the entire cup and poured it in slow motion all past the bin. And this guy, I did it in such a kind of slow... It looked like I'd protested. Yeah, I'd protested by pouring it all over there. Yeah.
We won't go into that.
I won't go into that one. Anyway, so when I got inside, I got given this headset and this wristband. Fucking headset doesn't work. It's like just you could tap it.
25 quid.
If you they also give you like a necklace with a with what looks like a stopwatch on it, and that will basically kick sound effects in when you get to certain places in the exhibition. So anyway, it's all kind of very technologically, marvelous, but it doesn't fucking work. My headset didn't. So
technologically shite.
The woman tells me in this group that I'm with, none of which I knew, to stay in this little room staring at a screen. In groups, do you? You go in you go in every hour, and then all the people are with you in that group.
Yeah.
So the woman comes in and says, "Wait here. I'm just going to go and prepare the next people, and I'll come back and we'll go through all the rules and stuff."
Yeah. All the rules? What do you mean?
Well, she's going to do like an intro and probably go, "Welcome to the world of Star Wars" or something stupid. So anyway, no time for that. I'm a 31-year-old man. My fucking headset doesn't work, so I just basically
throwing coffee everywhere. I just want to get in and look at some Star Wars. Sorry.
I just walked straight in while everyone else was staring at this blank screen. Yeah, went straight in.
Brilliant.
And then inside there, I started looking at the real props from the films. I mean, this is what hits you.
What's that there then? So you got a picture of like a brown piece of paper with all these.
So this is a concept drawing of various aliens that would be featured in the cantina scene.
Who drew that?
I'm not sure. It looks a bit like. I do have the details. Here we go. It was drawn by Ron Cobb. Pencil and gouache on paper. Star Wars Episode 4. So I've got all the notes here. If you look up Cantina Aliens by Ron Cobb, you can follow what we're looking in. The original Ponda mask.
That looks mad. That looks absolutely mental. It looks like it's been made out of
cobwebs.
Cobwebs. It looks like they've just got an old football. You know those really old footballs you used to have when you just kick it around so much that it's just. You could just see the...
all grey and all the leather's peeling off.
It looks like that. It looks like it's been rolled in Pritt stick and then put into a barber's shop, and then all the hair from all the barber hair. It's just...
It's got like mould growing all over it.
I see what it looks like. It looks like the most disgusting ball sack you can imagine.
Yeah. It's pretty...
With eyes.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. That is 40 years old, that mask. It still somehow works.
How much do you reckon that's worth?
Oh, fuck knows. Who dares to dream? So R2-D2, this is the original R2-D2 that Kenny Baker was in.
From A New Hope.
And if you look really closely, what really strikes you is it's made of fucking wood, mostly.
Wood?
Yeah. Look at this.
It's just dents
you can
and
see
scratches.
Well, obviously, I'm just showing Jude. The viewers at home can't see, but we have put these pictures up on Instagram. You can see how knocked about and knackered it is, and how poorly painted it was.
That's what Lucas wanted, right? He wanted that sort of lived-in, knackered feel.
Yeah, I suppose so.
For the galaxy.
Yeah. Well, there's loads of droids on display. They're in pretty good condition, actually. And the original Stormtrooper costumes, of which they made 50 for... but look how shoddily the Stormtrooper masks are painted, though. Yeah. The black areas... they've obviously been done in a hurry.
Yeah.
It's like, we've got to do 50 of these fucking things by Wednesday or something. The weapons have held up really well. They look excellent. They still look the piece, And then,
but you enjoyed it on the whole, apart from your
I enjoyed it on the whole. The size of the mouse droid is fucking enormous.
Is it?
Yeah, mate. It's about this. It's a couple of foot off the floor.
It's
disappointed big by that. Bugger. You think it's going to be like the size of a shoebox?
The size of a mouse, I'd say.
Yeah. It's more like the size of like a little square TV.
Right.
Sort of quite a big unit. So.
Was that BB-8 as well? In the back?
Yeah, BB-8 was there. I think it was just one of the.
It's not impressive unless it's moving around, to be honest.
True. That's definitely the case. The C-3PO costume that was there was from Revenge of the Sith, and so I wasn't that impressed by that. It's only 10 years old.
Well, that's the...
We're looking at the Jedi Communicator comlink from Phantom Menace.
Which is a woman's shaving.
Yeah. My mum had one of those.
A
Gillette ladies razor thing.
Yeah.
And,
your mum had one of those.
They sprayed it silver, stuck a couple of pieces onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got one of your mum's pubes.
They should have put your mum on it. And then there was the Jawa costume, the original one, which was beautiful. There's loads of Macquarie artwork around the place, and you can go and check that out. And some of the paintings that were there I'd never even seen before. Yeah. I mean, they were really special.
Go back.
Yeah.
So this one, the next one, that really reminds me of Force Awakens.
Yeah, we're talking about the sand people standing around a campfire at night with all mountains in the background and stuff.
Yeah, that's it wouldn't surprise me if they've taken that as a bit of inspiration for the Force Awakens, where they go to Jakku, and you've got that confrontation right at the beginning of the film. Where Poe Dameron gets was he the priest?
Yeah.
And he
Friend of the Alliance or whatever he is. Yeah.
But they did go back and take a bit of.
All the new
artwork,
films are based on original Star Wars artwork. Yeah. Han Solo and Carbonite. This is the original movie prop.
Yeah.
And obviously it looks exactly like it does on screen, so that's pretty special. It looks heavy, you know. I took a couple of pictures of the little panels and stuff that all light up and things like that. And Jabba the Hutt's eyes are there. Obviously, the rest of him is disintegrated now because the puppet was.
Well, they've got the mouldings right in Lucasfilm vaults.
Yeah.
So they've got the original mouldings.
Yeah.
But
they obviously any latex doesn't last. Yeah. It's not built to last like that. The Star Destroyer.
Is that original model?
Yeah, it's
mental.
Fucking enormous. So this is from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
They made a smaller one for A New Hope, but in Empire Strikes Back, because of the amount of close-ups, they needed to have a more detailed model. And the model is about 2.5 meters long.
Wow.
Which is fucking big. And it's got bulbs and stuff inside the ports on the back to obviously emit some light. Yeah, and then they can obviously enhance that. Yeah, using CGI. It's very hard to get across the scale of that Star Destroyer model in words. You really have to go and see it for yourself.
There was like these lights, so there's lights surrounding it, and it kind of gives the illusion of hyperspace.
Yeah, that's right. They've arranged all the model ships in a long glass cabinet, floor-to-ceiling cabinet with these beams of light, and it does definitely give the illusion of jumping through hyperspace. Yeah.
TIE fighters, all of this stuff. So they're all originals. They all can be featured in the films.
Yeah, these were photographed for the movies, and these are the ships you see flying around.
Amazing.
Obviously, the ones that didn't get blown up or exploded and things like that. But this looks fantastic.
Yeah. Excellent.
Incredible amount of detail in these.
My favourite.
Yeah.
I love it.
And the scale of them is all very different as well.
What's your favourite ship out of the whole?
I really like the B-Wing, but I think the X-Wing's my favourite. If I had to choose, I'd say...
Like if you had to get in one, fly in one.
X-Wing, without a doubt.
The Millennium Falcon.
Oh, yeah,
Slave
Falcon.
One.
Yeah, but you could live in the Millennium Falcon, couldn't you? It'd be great. I think the Millennium Falcon would be really hard to steer because you're obviously flying it from off the side.
Yeah, you've got like a whole.
So how when you're flying through like a little narrow gap, how do you factor in the sheer size of the ship?
I'm sure the navigation of the ship's sorting it out for you.
Maybe.
You've got a co-pilot doing that shit.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps.
Chewie.
I always like the look of the. I like the speeder because you can put two people in it. That's my favourite sort of.
It's always bothered me, man. It's always bothered me that you've got one guy and they're back to back. One's flying and the other one's shooting.
Why has that bothered you?
Because it's just like
they do that on the Y-wings.
Do it all together, all the same time. Fly and shoot yourself.
Yeah, maybe, but he's got two cannons.
You're killing
on top.
two men.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if one of those goes down, you're killing two men for one. It's not. Someone's not worked out the economics of that.
One of the original stop-motion walkers, as well, which is pretty special. This Yoda puppet isn't from Empire or Jedi, it's from 1999.
Really?
But that is not the Yoda that is used in The Phantom Menace, so I wonder if it was actually made and then rejected.
But that's a much better Yoda than
I know.
The Phantom Menace.
So there's a few aspects of this that I thought was a bit dodgy. Another thing that was dodgy was, in my opinion, Princess Leia's gold bikini looks like it's been made out of plastic here. It looks like some kid's sort of toy shop costume.
It looks very faded, mate.
Yeah, so I think a couple of the artefacts in the exhibition might be fake, like just
the
imitations.
The Yoda in Episode 1, the original, not the CGI, looks absolute pants.
Yes, it does.
Now
it's got a rectangular jaw. The one with the Yoda we're looking at here looks almost identical to the puppet they used in Empire.
They should have gone with that. They should have gone with that.
Yeah, well, apparently, either it was made for this exhibition, or maybe it was made out of wax. It doesn't look like a puppet, does it? It looks too stiff. So it could be the one that was made by Madden Two Swords or something like that. I think that's possible. Here, look, see, Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace, Lucasfilm Archives. I don't think it is from The Phantom Menace at all. These are the concept drawings for Yoda.
Just weird.
It looks like Munchkins from Wizard of Oz. And so I won't talk too much more about there's a couple of costumes on display.
You enjoyed it? You felt was it worth the money?
For seeing the original Leia costume, the Empire costumes are probably the best in my opinion. I think they really nailed it. Made it look all grubby and stuff. Look at Lando's costume. That's the one from Return of the Jedi. He's got something on his wrist there. What strikes you when you see the costumes up close, by the way, is the fabric they're made from.
Yeah, I mean, he's been wearing a woolen cape there.
So much more detail. The Chewie was from Revenge of the Sith, so I wasn't too impressed to see that because it does look very different.
Yeah,
doesn't it? Chewie's face in Revenge of the Sith doesn't look right, and so this is some example of the interactive stuff. I guess you put your wristband against these panels here, and it records stuff as you go around.
Why
and
their
then
heads lopped off?
I don't know. I guess it's which are you. I think the whole thing about it is identifying what kind of Star Wars character you are.
Who did you come out as?
I didn't do it. I didn't interact with it.
Oh, right.
I haven't got time for it. I'm 32 years old.
Fair enough.
I'm a cunt. I know I'm that.
But on a work day, you're off to see a Star Wars exhibition.
Yeah,
so
true.
It doesn't matter.
True, but I'm there for the props. This is the original Darth Vader costume from 1983 from Return of the Jedi. Marvellous, lovely bit of kit. So it's good to see that.
And that's the original.
Well, it's the Return of the Jedi one.
Oh, man,
yeah.
Look at the state of that. Look at that box on his belt. What's that about?
Yeah.
He's got a huge box. You don't see that in.
Yeah, you do see that in the films, but because he's always shrouded in darkness, you don't really get a good look at these.
Why didn't they just use the Force to just flick the buttons off?
and obviously the Darth Vader mask, the one that Sebastian Shaw wears that Luke takes off is on display there, and that looks like it was made yesterday. It looks fantastic. Yeah. So, all in all, it's worth going to see if you enjoy seeing the original props. If you've got kids, take them along. They might enjoy the interactive elements.
You've got about 4 days.
But yeah, you've got until the 3rd of September, so get your skates
on. If
on.
you're listening in America, fly out now.
Wait till it goes to America. I'm sure it will.
Yeah, sure.
It was sort of in association with who's it in association with? I've got the little thing here.
No, too.
No, there's a couple of like sponsored brands and things on it. I can't remember now, but it was. The Lucas Museum in association with the Lucas Museum, which is that thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
There you go.
Star Wars Identities at the O2 Arena in London. Go see it, and then on the way home, go on the little boat and travel down the Thames. It only costs like £1.50.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. There's a bar on it and everything. Get wankered.
I want to talk Porgs.
Yeah, go on.
I want to talk Porgs because what's your take on these little things?
They sound really cute.
They look really cute. Isn't that what they sound?
Have you heard the sound of them?
I haven't heard the sound.
Okay, you carry on talking. I'm going to find the sound of them, and then you can hear what they sound like, guys.
The reason I want to bring up, they're massive. They're all over the internet. It seems like everyone on Instagram, Twitter, they've changed their avatar to a Porg. Yeah. Mainly the one sitting in the cockpit with Chewie. Yeah. So
here we go. Do you want to hear the sound of BB-8 talking to Porgs?
They've basically invented a worse sound than Chewbacca. More irritating sound.
They sound like birds.
Little birds, yeah. And do you think they're vicious? Do you think they're vicious?
No, I think they're harmless.
They're really sharp teeth. But I've been seeing online people getting annoyed with it because it's clearly a marketing thing.
Obviously.
To sell toys. Right?
Obviously, yeah, definitely.
So I hope they use them in some way in the film that's meaningful. They obviously take one away with them.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones in the cockpit.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to have a big... I think they're going to be a big part of the film. I think they're going to be... I think they're going to be some sort of force sensitive... little weird creatures.
They're just birds, but like puffins.
What do you do, right? What do you do?
I just think they're there to make the audience go, oh, and have a cute thing. That's all.
Yeah,
they had BB-8 in...
What would you do, right, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you were a Porg on the island?
I'd probably try and make as much money as possible, ride the coattails of the film.
You don't know. No. There's no film. It's real life. You've transcended the galaxy. You're now a Porg. You know.
Oh, I'm living in the Star
everything.
Wars universe.
Yeah, you know everything you know now. You're John Galantini.
In the mind of a Porg.
All right, but I've said to you, here's a magic coin.
Yeah.
You're gonna put this coin under your pillow, and tomorrow you will definitely wake up in the Star Wars universe as a character. But the thing is, you could be anything, right? And you're going, oh yeah, definitely. You put the coin under your pillow, you go to sleep, you're thinking, oh man, I might wake up as Boba Fett, I might wake up as... Like, you're like, really, you're loving it, you're picking it up. It could be Darth Vader, you wake up, you wake in your little fucking Porg. What would you do? What's your first thought? What is your first thought?
Probably have sex with another Porg. That's what they can do, really, isn't it? I guess they're just there to procreate. There's a lot of them, so obviously they are getting a lot of action
just
on that island.
Get away. Your first thing was
have sex
I'm gonna find another Porg.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even...
Do you reckon they reproduce like ducks do? Because ducks are the only creatures on Earth to be filmed taking part in homosexual necrophiliac rape.
Cut that.
So
that is not going in
true.
the fucking
That is 100% true.
I don't care. What
they will literally they reproduce exclusively by gang rape, and they will rape their own like dead brother and stuff.
Right. I'll be honest. I've never seen that shit.
If the Porgs are like that, it's true.
Well, I don't want to see that. Don't Google that. If you are googling that, you're a freak.
Sick. You're a freak.
You need to sort your life out. But that's weird. So that's Porgs, everyone. Porgs. Apparently sexual.
No, I'm just saying
things.
that's what ducks are, mallards. But
Right.
if they based them on that, it could be some
Brilliant.
unpleasant side to them. Maybe they are like gremlins. Maybe they look all sweet and you get them wet.
Well, that's what I was thinking. This is the next thing. I think they're little bastards, and I think you don't want to get on the wrong side of it.
Well, we'll see. There's been loads of stuff revealed about the new movie, actually, because the nature of the toys that are being shown to us sort of give away a great deal of the plot.
I've not listened. I haven't watched any of the videos of people pressing buttons and doing like little sound effects and whatnot.
Right, okay.
I've not listened. I did that last time.
I've seen a couple of videos of people unboxing the new Lego sets and building them in a speed building.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I saw this.
Obviously, there's some new vehicles as well.
Right. So if you're avoiding all kinds of spoilers, fast forward. Hasbro's taken it down.
Okay,
Copyright.
right.
Okay, so what it was it's this big BB-8.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's a BB-8 that opens up into a
up.
play set.
Big play set. And it's essentially, it's like a throne room.
Well, it's meant to be the interior of a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, but if they pull it all out and they show it's like a throne room, and you've got Snoke sitting up there.
Garbage crusher.
You got Kylo Ren in there as well.
Command bridge.
And that's it. You got all of that. You got those Praetorian guards, whatever they're called.
Gamorrean.
Yeah, sorry. Everyone's sort of already calling this film out as a bit of a Empire Strikes Back remake, based on the fact that you got some of that action going on, but you've also got these new AT-ATs.
Yeah, I do know because of some of the basic outline of the plot was explained with a lot of these toys.
Yeah.
And
it's called an ATM-6.
Yeah, it looks like a gorilla, but apparently the reason why it's got kind of gorilla feet at the front is so that it can steady itself when it fires a great big cannon that's built into its top. I'm not a fan of the design. I'm not the fan of the design. It looks like something out of Transformers. Or,
it does look weird.
Like it looks like a toy. It doesn't look like a Star Wars vehicle.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
And what do you think of the
that.
Dreadnought? The massive.
No, I just don't think aesthetically, the Star Destroyers in the original series look wonderful. The Super Star Destroyer, although it's much bigger and everything, it still has a bit of aesthetic beauty to it. This Dreadnought thing and the First Order Star Destroyers, they look squashed and fat. You know what I mean?
It looks like they've taken an original Star Destroyer and accidentally stepped on it and gone, That'll do.
It looks like
Run
a slice
out
of
time.
pizza.
Let's just get it done.
Yeah. Look, have you noticed right down the centre of it there's a trench as well? A very big trench. Obviously, we're going to see ships flying down there and being fired at. Apparently, it's covered in cannons and everything. So, below it, it's got 2 great big cannons.
Massive. They're huge.
Great big, long, enormous guns that
360
can
guns
presumably
that can-
destroy planets. So,
Okay,
it's just a fucking...
here's another thing that I'm seeing.
Seeing this stuff just makes me think I'm the excitement. The more I see, the less excited I'm getting for Last
Here's another
Jedi,
thing
mate.
that I'm seeing online. Episode 4, New Hope.
Yeah.
Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Force Awakens. Another Death Star.
Yeah.
Right? Empire Strikes Back, Superstar Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last Jedi, suddenly we've got another Superstar Destroyer.
Yeah.
And they're saying, like, people are saying, well, they're just remaking the original trilogy.
But
Though
if
it's
you
Hoth
think
all
about
over
it,
again.
yeah. So if you think about it, the last movie ends with them knowing where the rebels are, but being unable to destroy the rebel base.
Right.
So all that speeder chase stuff we see in the trailer, that's on
Yeah.
there.
So that's the start.
That's Act 2. Sorry, not Act 2. Sorry.
Act 1.
No, it's called whatever the planet is where the rebels are at the end of The Force Awakens. Quor or something like that.
Yeah, the red smoke
Yeah.
planet, the bleeding planet, or
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Reading,
Reading.
the airport in
Reading.
the airbase in Reading.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing film. I think it's going to throw up doubt. I think it's going to cause a lot of anger. I think it's going to cause a lot of debate among fans.
Apparently it's going to be quite radical in it taking Star Wars in a different direction that we've not seen before, and I hope that means a homosexual encounter between Poe and Finn.
You definitely hope that.
Yeah, definitely. The sweatier the better, mate.
Brilliant. Yeah. We might as well keep going with the new film action. Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ron Howard's been at it again. He's been posting shit on Instagram.
Lovely.
He's been burning. He's been burning droids.
So someone's turned a droid into a dustbin. It's like a fiery bin.
And he's also been taking shots of Chewbacca. So
Cool.
I honestly think this is going to be a film about Chewie meets Han Solo. He rescues Chewie from some sort of Wookiee prison. And
We know that Chewie's got a life debt to Han.
Yeah, well,
That's established in the
that's
books
Legends,
and stuff.
though, mate.
Legends.
It's
Well,
not in canon anymore, but I reckon they're dipping into that. But also, I reckon, right, that we're going to see the Kessel Run done in 12 parsecs.
okay. Okay.
I
Do we need
reckon
to see that? Do we really need to see that?
Well, no, we don't, but they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to like clutch at straws and go Kessel Run, 12 parsecs. Let's whack that in there. So when people watch,
What did they do?
I mean,
They went through the original 3 movies and then they picked out every single line that Han Solo said, and then they thought that we have to explain that. We have to explain
Probably.
that. It's
Probably.
lazy.
That's what
a
they're
lazy
doing.
way of writing a
Well,
story.
I think this is a pointless film. What I don't think will be a pointless film though is Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
looking forward to that. I know you're
Just be
dubious.
Obi-Wan. No, I just don't think there's much of a story. He protects Luke. If you read the
Well,
comics, you already know that
I don't know.
he basically has a very quiet life.
Mate, have you read the Obi-Wan book?
No, not the book.
I really love that, and I think it's going to be one of those good films that.
But will they rewrite that, or is that what it's going to be?
Well, first
Because
of all,
obviously
I'm
they're not
going
going to
record
because
to
they
say
take a book and turn that into a film. That Hollywood doesn't work
no,
like that
they
anymore.
probably won't. But I think the setting's pretty much there. I think the settings. He's on Tatooine. He's looking over Luke, and I think it's going to be him struggling to deal with this new life. He's hiding. He's suddenly stranded in a desert. He's got a responsibility to commune with Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
In fact, it's canon. I know
Yeah,
you hate it, but
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got to learn how to become a Force ghost.
Yeah.
He's got to make sure that Luke's safe, but he's also got to kind of create this new life for himself. He's used to flying around planet to planet, absolute ultimate freedom in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, he's just stuck on Tatooine. I think that's a really interesting combination.
Yeah.
People are talking online again about protagonists for this film. Now, I'm hoping it's Ewan McGregor. It's got to be Ewan McGregor. Has to be.
What, for the actor? Oh yeah, I expect
Yeah.
it would be.
Yeah. Has to be. I reckon it's going to be gritty. I think it's going to be psychological.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan going through all kinds of weird shit. But they're talking about protagonist.
Yeah.
And I think the protagonist is going to be Darth Vader.
Well, because Darth Vader doesn't know he's got a son alive,
No.
so I guess there's no danger in him coming to Tatooine and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think
He goes on a holiday to kill sand people, like Darth Vader does. bumps into Ben Kenobi.
I think Obi-Wan goes off planet
Yeah,
I think he finds out Vader's in the vicinity, goes off planet, and I reckon he's going to have a showdown with him. And I say this because there's two things in the original trilogy that don't make sense. The first one is when Vader and Obi-Wan...
He says he's now more... Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah. He says he's now more machine... He's more machine now than man in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Right? But I guess he'd already seen him in A New Hope.
Yeah.
But the other thing is when they meet on the
Death Star.
When I left you, I was but the learner, now I'm the master. All of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I reckon...
There's more explanation to it.
Yeah. And Obi-Wan has taught you well in Return of the Jedi. I think there's gonna, oh, was it that? No, there was another line.
Yeah, but in Empire Strikes Back, he says something like, he's just a boy, Obi-Wan can no longer help him. So
exactly,
Vader's aware that Luke Skywalker is with Obi-Wan, probably because they both showed up on the Death Star at the same time.
But, I mean, well, unless he looked at the CCTV and saw them running around,
yeah, but
you don't actually see
No, because he senses that this pilot who he's chasing when he's going on the Death Star trench is with the rebels. And he says the Force is strong with him. He knows Ben.
Yeah.
It's something you sense,
Obi-Wan
isn't
has
it?
taught you well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Obi-Wan was wise to keep you from... I honestly think all these things add up to Vader, Obi-Wan, having a showdown as Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader in full suit before...
Okay. Yeah. I hope so, because the more Darth Vader we see, the better. Because, if Rogue One... The less is more thing in Rogue One was really effective. So the same sort of thing here. Less is more.
The only thing is in A New Hope, there's a presence I've not felt since, and then I think of Mustafa, right? I think of Mustafa then, but if it's like a presence
Something
I've not felt since, that fucking felt since better be good. It better be fucking good.
They could, and some fan can cut little flashback in at that bit in a fan edit.
Talking of flashbacks, Forcebacks is apparently going to be all over the new Jedi. We're going to see Yoda in the flesh. Not Stark Bullock naked. No one wants to see that. But
yes, please.
Not Force Ghost Yoda, apparently.
I don't know about you, but Yaddle, definitely.
Oh
Yaddle.
yeah, mate.
I've got some news for you, mate, about Battlefront 2.
Hit me up, what, Yoda flying up?
I've got Battlefront 2 news. So, let me get my phone out here, because I've got all these screenshots here.
Go on, treat me.
I can now tell you a list of confirmed things about Battlefront 2. Okay, this is what is going to be available to you.
When's it coming out?
It's coming out in December.
Yeah.
And it'll be available for Xbox One, Xbox One X, PlayStation 4, is it now? I don't know what the latest PlayStation is. I'm an Xbox One person myself. If you want to play me, by the way, the Cafe 80s, that's what you've got to look up. The Cafe 80s.
Brilliant.
It's obviously it's going to feature stuff from the new movies, the original trilogy, and the prequels for the
Last
first
Jedi?
time. Yeah,
Of course.
It's going to certainly feature characters from The Force Awakens. I don't know how much Last Jedi.
I've seen the little tiny snippet of fight between Kylo Ren and Rey. It looks pretty damn sweet.
Cool. Okay, well, the confirmed planets that you'll be able to get in this game are from the prequel trilogy: Naboo, Kamino, Kashyyyk, and Ryloth.
Oh yeah.
From the original trilogy: Tatooine, Hoth, Yavin 4, Endor. That's going to be a space battle. Also Fondor, which is a space battle.
Death Star, I assume.
Oh, yeah, I expect so. Flying around the soup. So Fondor is a neighbouring planet to Endor. Right. Maybe it's part of the same story.
Okay, yeah.
From the sequel trilogy, Takodana, which is the planet where that's where Maz lives.
Yeah.
Right. So all that lovely green little forest and everything. Wonderful.
So yeah.
Never seen so much green. Starkiller Base, that's going to be like a playable level. Crate as well, I've never heard of Crate. Dakar, which is where the Rebel Alliance base is based. There's going to be a space battle there. And also Unknown Regions, it says space battle, probably because it's something to do with a new movie. Confirmed heroes you'll be able to play as. Ready?
Go.
Yoda, Darth
Flying.
Maul, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Rey, Finn, Kylo Ren, and Captain Phasma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like literally, the character I couldn't give that. Honestly, Captain Phasma is such a waste of time.
Well, she certainly was in The Force Awakens.
She better
hyped
be
up much. You
She
say?
needs to be kicking some ass.
I hope so. Well, she's not all. She's survived being crushed. I mean, I'd like to see how they explain that one. Because if you get thrown in a garbage crusher,
And then the planet blows
and the
up.
planet blows up, you manage to get out the garbage crusher, and B, you manage to get off the planet quickly.
Well, John
enough.
Boyega has gone on record to say it gets spicy between Finn and her in the
Good.
next film. So
Good.
it better bloody do. You better just bring more meaning to the. I just want her to have a point to exist.
You'll be able to play in the following hero ships: Yoda's Jedi Starfighter, Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, Darth Maul's Schmickatar is like weird, like TIE fighter thing. Schmickatar. I don't know how to pronounce that. Jango Fett's Slave One.
Right.
Oof. Is that
Okay,
not the same ship as Slave
Are
One?
you going to buy it? Yeah, it's the same. It's Slave One.
Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, Han Solo's Falcon, Darth Vader's TIE Advance. That'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer.
So you're going to buy it?
Yeah, I'll get it because everyone else will be playing that game, right? I just don't want. I'm just not particularly excited about the prequel stuff.
Yeah, well, I would like that. The only thing that weirds me out about it, and I've seen on the trailer, you've got clone troopers in Episode 1 land fighting Darth Maul.
Yeah.
In
So,
Naboo. What's that about?
because the whole point of the game is you can sort of mix up timelines. You can in the game you can like be playing on Hoth, the Rebel base.
Yeah.
And then, like, suddenly the Emperor arrives or something like that, and he starts force lightning people.
Fine, okay.
So,
right.
unfortunately, there is that element of mixing up, right? So
I like
you
the
will get that.
prequels. I do like the prequels. I know you hate them, but I'm kind of fond of them.
Okay.
I am fond of them. I like the aesthetic. I like Doug Chang. He was the designer for them. He's now the designer on Force Awakens and Last Jedi. So I'm a big fan of his.
You know what I'm a big fan of, though, don't you?
Your mum? Your own mum? What?
The expanded universe.
Oh, go on. Treat me.
What have we been talking about this week? Because we talked about games last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And I'm now holding a well-fingered copy
Of your mum.
of
That
Shadows
is so
of
bad. So
the
bad.
Empire, which I decided to go and revisit after talking about it briefly last week. And
No, sorry.
I'm all the better for it, to be honest, because I'd forgotten.
You reread it again?
I started to reread it, and then I thought I'm too busy. I'm just got work to do and whatever. I'm going to get an audio version, so I got the audio book, and that's quite funny because you get to hear the narrator mispronouncing stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
In the narration you heard,
Yeah.
does he have a weird little high-pitched voice?
Well, no, probably because the version you heard, which you didn't pay for, has been sped up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I used the sped-up version for free. It's because John texted me about it on Friday. Said download Shadows of the Empire, listen to it over the weekend.
We can talk about it.
We can talk about it. I was too busy doing stuff. I forgot about it. He then texted me yesterday, say you did listen to it, right? And I was like, oh shit, no, I forgot. Went to download it on the phone, on the phone on the way home. Didn't work. I thought, oh man, okay, I'll do it when I get home. I forgot again. So in the morning,
Enthusiastic, you say?
yeah. In the morning, I thought rather than downloading it, I wonder if there's a free Audible version on YouTube, and there was. I started listening to it. I'm about a quarter of the way through, so I know not much, but
Okay.
let me tell you a little bit of what I know, and you can.
Well, first of all, it's a multimedia project, right? That Lucasfilm did in 1996. For those that don't know, this is before the prequels. This is before the
This is the game,
this is before the special edition. Yeah, they decided rather than make a Star Wars movie, they would try and do everything that you would market a movie with without making the film.
to see if it was still popular.
See if it had legs, and it was really successful. So they released a novel written by Steve Perry. They released a video game which ties in with the novel. They released a series of action figures. They released a comic series.
Yeah.
They basically you could get clothing, T-shirts and things like that. Shadows of the Empire, for all intents and purposes, is the Star Wars film that was never made. So it takes place between Empire and Jedi and explains what happens and answers all those questions we came up in our Return of the Jedi commentary. Such as, why is Luke really, really strong with the Force? And
so I'm about... Where am I? Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm about 30 pages in. Right?
Okay.
So I can't give much on this. All I know is that it starts off with snippets from Empire.
Yeah. So a scene from Empire, seen from the perspective of someone else.
Yeah. So this someone else, who is this Prince
Chizor,
That's it.
who I believe is pronounced Zior, but the narrator on the version I heard calls him Chizor.
Right.
So I'm going to go with the narrator, even though the same guy says B-spin, which is obviously...
I'm going to carry on listening to this, but what I like about it is, if we take this as... If this wasn't Legends...
It's not. It's canon still.
Is this canon?
It's still canon. There's nothing in there that is no longer... that is is disputed. So, yeah, it's completely cool.
So, what I'm thinking is, are they going to take this and run with it as a film?
No.
Why
that
not?
time has been. Because in order to do this film, you need the following members of the cast.
Of course,
and
yeah.
Princess Leia, she's dead now. But also, you need them to be the same age they were in Empire. So, the time has gone.
Sorry.
They could have possibly done it in 1996. They could have maybe made, using some makeup, made everybody look a little bit younger. Harrison Ford wouldn't have to be in it.
Yeah.
So the basic plot of this story is that there is obviously the rebels are trying to put together a plan to rescue Han Solo from the bounty hunter Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Who they are literally chasing around the galaxy.
He's not that valuable to him, is he?
Who?
Han Solo.
Well, they're doing it because they're his friend, but it does explain that Chewbacca has a life debt with Han Solo.
So Chewie's got a life debt.
Yeah, and has to get him back.
What I like in the beginning scene was this Prince Zion guy, or whatever his name is.
Chizor, who is he's a criminal leader of a organisation called the Black Sun, and he's also the head of the largest shipping container. He's the most powerful. Third powerfulest man after Darth Vader and the Emperor. Yeah.
So he said he wants to attack Vader, but he can't because he knows he'll lose. He's too powerful.
He's got a grudge against Vader because Vader was responsible for the death of his whole family.
Yeah,
which Vader isn't aware of. So he basically wants revenge on Vader, and his plan is to basically humiliate Vader or to cause Vader to disappoint the Emperor to the extent where the Emperor would effectively kill Vader, and Zior or Chizor can take the place of Darth Vader. And
do you think he'd become a Sith?
No, not at all, because he's not in any way force sensitive.
I like the scene where Vader and the Emperor are doing their little chat from Empire.
Yeah,
and he's witnessed all of that.
Yeah. So this is the hologram scene.
Yeah.
The book begins with the hologram scene from Empire Strikes Back.
I assume he's on Coruscant.
Yeah, from the perspective. That's right, because Chizor lives on Coruscant. Yeah. He is watching the conversation. He's literally seeing a little hologram of Darth Vader talking to the Emperor. So he's watching it from the perspective of the Emperor. Yeah. And he's basically plotting. So he learns that Luke Skywalker is very important to both of them.
He learns that he's Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, and in his weapon, his plan basically involves the death of Luke Skywalker. If he can kill Luke Skywalker, then Darth Vader will have disappointed the Emperor. Mm-hmm. If he can kill Luke Skywalker and make it seem like Darth Vader did it or was responsible, then that'll definitely seal Darth Vader's fate. So he's basically trying to... It's like a little power battle here. They're both trying to be the Emperor's
right-hand
man. Bed buddy, bedfellow, and they're both trying to fuck each other over.
Question: Luke Skywalker's lost his lightsaber at this point.
That's right, and so he builds a new one.
Yeah.
In Obi-Wan's hut.
That's right.
That's the very early scene in the book.
because it's...
Yes, so the green lightsaber you see in Jedi is the one he builds.
So the cutscene.
Oddly
in
enough,
Jedi,
though, this is one thing it does clash with the Star Wars canon. It explains how Luke makes the jewel himself and boils it in like a little oven thing and everything.
Right.
Now, obviously, in the canon, the jewel inside it is a kyber crystal, which is a specific crystal from a specific place.
Okay, so I'm gonna just carry on listening.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll enjoy it.
Well, I think you
Sorry
should.
for the...
It's a really good story. I mean, it's really worth going back to. It's the closest thing we got to a Star Wars movie. And I think...
Would you prefer that or Rogue One?
I prefer this to the prequels, but it's not as good as... Obviously, it's very difficult to say, do you prefer a book, a Star Wars book, to Rogue One? Rogue One is obviously...
Filth.
Yeah, because we're getting the full package there. But in terms of story, it's not bad at all. I know a lot of expanded universe stories are boring. The dialogue isn't really right.
The Han Solo trilogy was pants.
Yeah, there's a character in this who obviously takes the place of Han Solo.
Yeah.
His name's Dash Rendar. He's like a cocky, very Han Solo-esque character.
Dash Rendar.
Rendar.
I recognise this name.
He has a ship called the Outrider, which is a very similar model ship to the Millennium Falcon. He has a co-pilot, which is a robot. And he is a smuggler, a card player, a scoundrel. He's friends with Lando Calrissian. And you will see him appearing in trading cards and other sort of Star Wars stuff.
They're saying here you could return to Star Wars canon, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He could very well return to the Star Wars canon because, it's a character in this book. I mean, characters from books have gone on to appear in the Star Wars canon again, haven't they? Whatever comes next after Rebels, maybe... Yeah, who knows? Do give it a read. If you don't like reading books, get the audiobook. If you don't like audiobooks, there's a graphic novel available.
Yeah.
And if you've got an N64... dig out the N64 and play the video game, which was at the time the best Star Wars video game. You would be able to play a level like Hoth on. I mean,
now it's shit. It looks like a couple of
well,
pixels.
before Battlefront, sorry, the Hoth level on Shadows of the Empire was the closest thing you were going to get to a real Star Wars game. It even began with the opening crawl, and you know the real music and everything.
Tell you what,
What?
another little thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
My dad.
Okay.
Number of
Has
reasons.
he been in court again?
No. He's fine. He's fine. When I was younger, right?
Yeah.
A little story for you. I was in the kitchen playing lightsabers with my brother. So I had an actual extendable plastic Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber.
Yeah. The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, and my brother had Qui-Gon's.
Yeah.
And we'd turn the light off, let these things glow, and we'd just like have a thrash around. But my dad had told me and my brother Josh, whatever you do, don't fight with the lightsabers because you'll break something.
Right.
And I went, yeah, okay, cool, no worries. Didn't listen to that. And we were having this silent lightsaber battle quite fast, like going for it.
Yeah.
Trying not to laugh because we didn't want to give the game away.
Yeah.
And then one of us, I can't remember, I'm going to blame Josh, why not, hit a vase and smashed it all over the floor. And I could hear Dad coming down the stairs, thump, thump, thump. I grabbed the lightsabers, I threw them under the kitchen table and like put a towel over them or something. And Dad comes and goes, what was that? And I went, oh, sorry, little accident. I was making a cup of coffee and I slipped and accidents happen. And he was like, okay, that's all right then. And just as he turned to walk out of the room, the lightsaber, the towel on the lightsaber, put enough force that it twisted it and put the button on. And all under the table glowed blue and we're going around. Oh, my dad, right? He goes absolutely mental. He picks his lightsaber up, extends it, and starts smashing it against the table trying to break it, and it doesn't work. And he's trying to bend it on his knee, and it's not working. Typical you with your lightsaber battles. And
hell.
that was that.
He
that
caused more damage with the lightsaber than you did.
There was dents all over the table. There was like the lightsaber was just battered to oblivion after that. But yeah, that was always cracks me up.
That's good. I got a good story about my brother too. When I was going to leave, don't know what you call it. I guess primary, junior school. And you go into the next school. You go on the open nights with your parents. You look around the potential school you're going to go to.
Right,
so I went down to this school, Courtmore School. This is in Fleet. Right. Went along with mum and my brother. And I don't know, my little brother was there, but probably because there was no one to look after him, so he came along with us. He was 2 years younger than me, so he would be in year 5, and I'd be starting in year 7. So I don't know. How old are you when you're in year 5? What, 10? I think it is. I think it's about 10.
Is it?
Yeah, 9, 10. So he and I are walking around the school. We go to the IT department, and they've got Windows 95 computers, which at the time we didn't have anything like that. The best we've ever seen was an Acorn, And my brother sits down at this computer and he's playing around with it, and he basically opens Word and he does I and a great big heart, clip art, love, Star Wars, all in Times Roman, and then great big smiley face underneath a smiley face, clip art.
Yeah.
And he prints this out. I think somebody might have been helping him and saying, do you want to print that now? Do you want to do this? Anyway, so he's got this little piece of paper. He's walking around the school with us, going through the library, bump into this guy in a suit. He's the head teacher at the school, Mr. Shorey. Okay.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like Jim Broadbent, if you can imagine Jim Broadbent.
Yeah.
You know, hello, hello, Del boy. Jim Broadbent. Anyway, so he says, how are you? Nice to meet you, Mr. Shorey and whatever. Yeah. He says, all my parents are like, oh yeah, John's hoping to come here.
Yeah,
if he's lucky, hoping to come here. You're very excited, aren't you, John? Yeah, obviously best behaviour, best impressions. Yeah. He looks down at my brother, and hello there. What have you got there? And he takes this bit of paper off Sam, and he opens it out, and he goes, I love Star Wars. And my brother goes, yeah, but I'm not gay though.
What?
Genuinely, yeah. He goes, yeah, but I'm not gay though.
What's that got to do with anything?
It's just when obviously Sam was in junior school, and it's like gay is just the
thing.
If somebody like touches your arm or brushes you, or you put another person's coat on wrong, or you wear your trousers
when you're 8 years old, you're just conscious.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you even so much as show any affection to anybody, you're gay.
What was Jim Broadbent's reaction to that?
I don't remember his reaction because I just clamped my hands over my face and just wished that. I couldn't believe what I just heard, in complete shock and disgust. I remember my mum sort of was very, very shocked. She was like, Sam, what? What are you doing? So I hope Sam doesn't mind me sharing that story.
Did you get into school?
Yeah, I did get into that school.
Oh, well done.
I'm glad it didn't count against me.
No, getting into detentions.
Yeah, that was it's just hysterical, really. What he did.
Brilliant.
He obviously.
But he's a kid.
He genuinely thought Mr. Shorey would be concerned that he might judge him that he was gay. Yeah,
based on the fact that he loves Star Wars.
I don't know what. He's like, I'm not gay though. I hope that doesn't go against me.
I don't understand the connection. What is Star Wars got a reputation that only homosexuals?
No, because it's the whole thing about love. It's that his age,
brilliant.
The kind of playground thing that kids get up to. They show any signs of affection to anything, any kind of emotion, and that makes you gay or soft or puff or whatever. Sorry for the derogatory terms. I'm just. This is in the language of the time. If you fell over and while stumbling over you brushed your hands down another boy, just almost catch you, then you'd be branded a gaylord, wouldn't you, at play school? That was kind of what it was like in the 90s when you're at school. It's true. You must have had a fucking hard time with your surname. Come on, mate. So you know what it's like.
I got bullied, but the thing is, you grow
good
up,
story. You grow up and you move on, but I still think it's a good story. It says a lot about it.
Is this going to be one of those episodes where I don't sleep well because I'm shitting myself about
We haven't. I don't think we've caused any. I don't think we've discussed anything that's out of order or anything like that.
No.
I do want to say, however, new bit of news for you.
Go on.
You know, I love painting my little Star Wars miniatures. In fact, I've actually got with me now.
That's what you call it.
Oh, excuse me. Oh shit! Can't bending all over the place.
Fucking hell, John! What are you doing?
Hold on.
Oh, hang on. He's got a blue bag. What are you doing? If we were in the 90s,
just went into your lap.
Here.
My head just landed in Jude's lap.
Brilliant.
Okay, I've got a carrier bag here.
Yeah.
Let's see what's inside the carrier bag.
It's like a sandwich box. Is it a sandwich box?
It's not a sandwich box. I'm going to look inside there.
Open it for you. Oh, hello. We got Dengar.
We've got some little Imperial Assault miniatures here.
Oh,
which
they're
I've
expensive, aren't they?
just been and bought.
£9.
Yeah.
Where'd you get these from?
From Darkspear near Waterloo. She's down there.
Pretty sweet.
Anyway, so if you like your tabletop games, to be honest, Imperial Assault, I'm loving painting the miniatures. Playing the game, not so much. Complicated.
Really?
Very complicated.
This was featured. This was featured in the
It's been
Star
going for
Wars
3
show.
or 4 years. It's very, very long-winded and complicated. However, next year there is a brand new Star Wars game coming called Legion,
That's it.
and it's more like Warhammer in that
Got you.
it's you
That's
build your
featured in
own
the Star Wars
scenery.
show.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
build your own tabletops and whatever, and
Yeah.
you have these much more detailed miniatures of all the characters and things like that. And the gameplay is a bit more straightforward. And yeah,
So what
I'm
are you
looking
going to do
forward
with
to
these
it.
guys? You're just going to paint
I'm
them?
going to paint them. I'm going to paint them up. I'm going to just keep on playing the game, but it's just not. It's very complicated and long-winded. I prefer the idea of a new game coming much more simple, not as complicated. It doesn't take hours of your day to play it. You just sort of want a
I am
game
jealous,
you can
John.
do.
I'm jealous that you've got the time to A, paint this stuff, B, play it, C, read Shadows of the Empire, D, play your Xbox.
My advice is don't have children.
Yeah, well,
At least until you're in your 40s and you've basically got nothing else.
yeah. I mean, if you got to that stage,
But unfortunately, I met you before I could give you that advice. But I think you won't regret it because
Definitely
soon
not.
your
Love my
children
boy.
will be in their adult years, and then you'll be able to do all this cool stuff.
I can't wait till Jesse's old enough to get inside the mind of a Star Wars fanatic and then start.
Are you going to be one of those dads where you make your son's room like a Star Wars ship, and the bed is like a TIE fighter?
Yeah,
and
if
all
he
that?
wants it. If he doesn't want it, he can have something else. But it got me thinking about the sequence to watch the films in, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
there's what's it called? The machete.
I think you should show him the order. Yeah, you can do the machete order, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. No, sorry. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and then 6.
It's 4, 5. Skip 1 altogether.
Oh, yeah.
2, 3, 6.
Yeah, but children
'Cause-
would like 1 because it's got like silly shit in it.
Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to ruin Anakin becoming Darth Vader, so it ruins that moment in Empire.
Exactly. So if
Right.
I were you, just show them in the original order that we were showing them in. Didn't fuck us up, did it?
Well, because in Empire,
Yeah.
or in Jedi, it reveals that Anakin is Darth Vader. And
What I'm more
consequently-
concerned about, I think you've got to worry about this more. What happens if Jesse gets his hands on this podcast and hears some of the stuff we've been
Not
saying?
going to happen, mate. Not going to happen. He's going to make sure that he doesn't know how to use a computer until he's 16. He's going to be backwards in the computer department. B, is a lockdown in my house on all kinds of profanity.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a treat. And,
It's going to have to start soon, mate. I've heard you
I know.
at home.
Have you? Oh, shit. Yeah, I know. His first word at this rate is going to be fuck.
I think it was. I
Me
remember
too.
I was like, you were on the phone to me ranting and raving about something or other, and then you said, oh, hang on a second, Jesse's trying to touch something. I'm like, Jesse's there.
Yeah, he was in the car.
He's in the car.
That's right. I was.
He's in the car.
We were driving and we were having a work conversation,
Yeah.
and I was getting annoyed about something, and then Jesse's trying to sleep in the back because I have to take him out every night to get him to sleep.
Just point out at this point, Jesse is 28 years old, and
Yeah.
he basically has to sleep all the
Yeah.
time, and Jude refuses to let him go and get a job or be a functional member of society.
No, he's basically. We like to pretend he's still 20 months. He's a fully grown man. I adopted him when I was 3. Where is this conversation going? It's weird. It's weird. Is there any more Star Wars shit we need to talk about?
I've talked about everything I could possibly want to
Let me
talk
have a look.
about.
I've got some tabs up. I just want to go through a few things. Make
When
sure
are we
I'm
going to
not
get a trailer?
Oh, hang on. Han Solo film.
Oh, cool.
Now, do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Force Awakens was announced?
Yeah.
Rey was going to be called Kira
Yes.
before, and so much so it was even on the speed.
Yeah,
bike.
but they gave everybody fake names when they first announced the film.
That's right, but they're reintroducing that name into Han Solo film with Emilia Clarke's character. She's
Right.
going to be called Kira.
Okay.
Um,
Michael K. Williams, he played the
He's
guy
been
from.
cut.
He's been cut.
because they had to do reshoots. He couldn't get involved,
Couldn't make it.
which is a real shame because
schedule
he's
clash.
brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's great in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
I can't remember his character name.
He was in
Chucky
Africa.
White. Chucky White.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in Africa filming a TV show,
Right.
and his schedules didn't match up, so they just had to cut him from the film together.
That's a pity.
Which is a real shame because apparently the Han Solo character is played by someone that didn't even go to acting school.
I can't remember the guy's name. Yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
Forward to.
By the way,
shit.
listen to this.
Go on. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm breathing clear, mate. I quit smoking.
Did
2
ya?
weeks now. 2 weeks. Not
You
even
sounded
wearing the
like you
patches.
rubbing yourself.
Hey?
I don't know how you're breathing clear in here. It's flipping
To be fair, we are in like the worst. We're in like,
suffocation.
yeah,
mate.
we've got to get a photo of this before we leave today. Just get a photo of it
Yeah.
as it is, completely all the beer cans. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Blah Wars. We will try and get the prequel commentaries done as soon as we can.
We're going to have to do
A day
all of
off
them
or
in
so.
a
Yeah,
day.
I think so.
So by the time we get to Revenge of the Sith, I can't wait, man. And I'll tell you why.
We're
'cause
running out of time as well, mate, because sooner or later December's going to be here. We really want to get all the commentaries done so we can have watched them all
Yeah,
when we go and see The Last Jedi.
yeah.
So we really need to put our foot down on that and get those out
And
to you
Rogue One.
guys. And Rogue One as well.
And
Yeah.
Force Awakens. Shit the bed.
That's what I'm talking about. We've still got like 5 movies to go. Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Excuse
We
me.
can do this. We can do
We
this.
can. We can.
Look, if you're listening to this and you want us to talk about a subject, if you want us to ask us any question,
Yeah.
ask us questions from our past, ask us Star Wars related questions, obviously. Bring up some nostalgia. We want to start talking about stuff from the 90s when we were
Yeah.
more kids.
Listener led.
Get involved, have a conversation. We know you're out there. SD cards and Gooch and all those guys. We know you're there. We know you're listening. Get involved. Ask us some questions. In fact, I'm just going to ask you a question.
Me?
Yeah. What's your all-time favourite scene from the film?
From what film? Any of them.
Any of them?
I think we discussed this on a commentary because I've
Did
definitely, I've definitely gone. Oh, this is probably my favourite moment of the entire.
What is it?
I think it's the bounty hunters on Vader's
bridge.
ship.
Right. So that's the kind of questions we're looking for.
This
Those
is-
sort of things.
Yeah.
Just anything. Just chuck
Any
them out
scene on board the Executor
there.
in Empire Strikes Back is one of my favourites. Something about that.
The other thing we're kind of floating the idea around doing is another podcast just around nostalgia altogether.
Yeah.
Just around the 90s,
Not Star
80s.
Wars based.
Not particularly Star Wars based, but just something where we can talk about
About old
stuff.
TV and old movies.
Because I'll
and
tell you
stuff.
what,
We're full of it.
we're full of loads of other shit outside of Star Wars that is... I love talking about. You're kind of like my Carl Pilkington.
I'm the Carl Pilkington. I'm the one with the fucking hair, mate.
We're both Carl
You
Pilkington.
look like Carl Pilkington.
Yeah, but I like asking you weird questions like,
Uh.
you know, what would you do if you woke up one day and there was a...
You're a porg.
Yeah, or like there's a crate dragon hanging off the end of your left testicle. And just seeing what answers you give. And you come out with all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
You're not going to play up for the microphone.
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This has been Blah Wars. I've been Jude Gay.
I've been John Galancini.
See you later, boys and girls. Bye.
May the force be with you!